Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. And by the video title, you know what this video is about. This is the 5.0 edition of the mock draft. Last week I did round 1 and 2, and this week I'm doing the same thing, round 1 and 2. Next week I'll probably do 1, 2, and 3, and then I might do a 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we'll see what happens. But starting off, I think 3 quarterbacks taken off the board. On last week I had it differently a little bit. I had it kind of in the sense of Jaden Daniels falling to the Vikings. I feel like he could fall maybe in the draft, maybe, depending on what the Patriots do with their draft pick. And it also depends on Washington as well, because Washington could go Drake May. And if they go Drake May, then they can switch some things up. But I think Washington, in my scenario right here, they go with, of course, Jaden Daniels. We already know Caleb Williams was going first. I had Jaden Daniels go to the Washington. The Washington O-line needs to be improved, but I feel like with Jaden Daniels' athleticism, his ability to be mobile and get the pocket to throw on a run, I feel like he can just go out there and just kind of help that a little bit in a sense of relieve some pressure off of them. And then Drake May, I had him go to the Patriots. So I had 3 quarterbacks taken within the first 3 picks, which could possibly happen. Now, the Patriots decided to go a different route because there's some quarterbacks in this draft that could fall to the 2nd round. Like a guy like Michael Penix Jr., I had the Patriots take him in the 2nd round of my last mock draft. And then I had Marvin Harrison Jr. Get taken in the 3rd pick with the Patriots. So you never know what could happen. But I think in this scenario right here, I went with Drake May. I'm going to the Patriots, and then Marvin Harrison Jr. going to the Cardinals. Kyler Murray, them lost Marquise Brown. They need to add a receiver over there. Marvin Harrison Jr. will be a perfect target. You know, big target, vertical threat receiver, can have amazing route running, very athletic, has first-class speed, can play the ball in the air. He's a good player, so I think he would be a nice addition to add to the team for the Cardinals. Then I had Malik Neighbors, receiver from LSU, the speedster receiver from LSU. Had a burst of speed, put the ball in his hands, he make plays after the catch. He's an amazing player too, and he will fit well with the Chargers. Chargers, of course, have Quentin Johnson. I think Josh Palmer is still there, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, they traded Keenan Allen away, which was a surprise to me. I thought Keenan Allen probably retire as a Charger. Probably could possibly come back maybe in the future. And Mike Williams, they released him, so they went out there and they tried to go a different approach. So Quentin Johnson had 400+ yards in the rookie season. Not the best rookie year, but not bad either. You know, it's still a pretty solid year. But I feel like he can be even more if they utilize him more. And you know, Coach I almost forgot his name. Coach Harbaugh. Coach Harbaugh coming from Michigan. You know, he was with the 49ers. He had the 49ers offense doing real good. Michigan was doing good too. I feel like he can go out there and help. So I'll say that he should take a leap up, but Malik Neighbors might come out the gates blazing because he's one of those guys that kind of remind me a little bit of a Jamar Chase, a little bit, in the sense of, you know, his play style. I know Jamar Chase played at LSU as well, so that maybe similarities in that like standing, but his play style is very good and very similar to that. I think he can come into the league blazing and be a definitive starter and be a guy just a game changer for not only Justin Herbert, because he needs some more weapons around him, of course, but for the team as a whole. So we're gonna see what happens. I had Rome go to the Giants. Giants need a receiver. I went offensive lineman last time, but this time I'm going receiver. I had Joe Alt go to the Titans, the first offensive tackle taken off the board and the first O-lineman taken off the board. I had Dallas Turner go to the Falcons. Jerry Verse from Florida State go to the Bears. I had Brock Bowers, tight end, go to the Jets. The Jets, of course, added Mike Williams. They have Garrett Wilson. Aaron Rodgers is a little older. He's 41, coming off of Achilles tear. So we'll see how he looks when he gets back. But adding Brock Bowers would be good for the team. You know, adding a guy who can block solidly as well, and who can also go out there and make plays. So I think he'll be a good addition. I had J.J. McCarthy go to the Vikings. I also had Michael Penix Jr. taken in the 1st round. Now, I usually have him around 2nd round-ish. I think because I'm usually 2nd round type of guy because of the injuries. That's the only thing in my opinion, because I feel like talent-wise, he's up there. So I had the Broncos take Michael Penix Jr. I know the Broncos are eyeing Bo Nix, but I think Michael Penix Jr. is a better thrower of the football than Bo Nix. More accurate, stronger arm as well, and he's mobile too. He can be mobile as well. Now, he didn't run a lot of college, but he have the speed, and probably didn't run a lot because of the injuries. Because they clocked him in his little pro day thing. So he ran a 4.4. Was it 4.46? I was surprised to see that. I knew he was gonna be. I thought he'd be around like maybe like 4.6ish, but 4.46 is pretty good. So I think Michael Penix Jr. is a guy who can be. He's sneaky athletic, of course. You know, the injuries kind of plagued him a little bit from like using athleticism a lot. But I think he's a guy who could be game changer for the Broncos. They need a new quarterback. The money is tight right now, so they can't go out there and sign a guy. So they have to go in the approach of drafting the guy and drafting properly. I think he'll be a good addition to add. Look at the Raiders. I have them take Fashanu from Penn State. I had the Saints at 14, take Fuaga. Oregon State, Terrion Arnold go to the Colts. I had Johnny Newton, defensive tackle, go from Illinois, go to the Seahawks. Cooper DeJean, one of my favorite players in the draft. I had him go to the Jaguars. I thought the Jaguars is a perfect setting for him, perfect place for him. He's an amazing player, very versatile player. Can play, corner, can play outside, inside, play safety as well. You can line him up all over the field. Good in run support, very physical. Has great awareness, great IQ, can put the ball in the air, good arm length, and good just good technique all around. You watch him, and just technique is just amazing. The way he just trace and follow and kind of run a route for the receivers and just play good in man coverage, zone coverage, press coverage, any type of coverage you want him to play. He's very good. He can be like an anchor on the defense. He reminds me of Tyrann Mathieu, like I mentioned many times before. So I think the Cooper DeJean going to the Jaguars will help their defense out and secondary especially a lot. I have Fatanu, Troy from the offensive tackle from Washington, go to the Bengals. I had Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo, go to the Rams. Justin Power Johnson, go to the Steelers. The Steelers need that big O-lineman in the front. And most likely they're going O-line. They're either going to go tackle, they're going to go center in the first round, I believe. Now, they could swerve us and go somewhere else, but I think most likely they probably go center or tackle. And I think if Jackson Power Johnson is available, we've seen them interviewing him and talking to him and discussing him. I think they probably take him. I had the Dolphins take Amaris Mims. Nate Wiggins go to the Eagles. Byron Murphy go to the Vikings. J.C. Latham go to the Cowboys. The Cowboys need another tackle on the outside. I had Kool-Aid McKinstry go to the Bears. The Packers. I had Leatu Latu go to the Buccaneers. Chop Robinson go to the Cardinals. Brian Thomas Jr. go to the Bills. Now the Bills, as you guys know, last week. Now I made my mock draft video on Monday. I remember I said King Coleman would be a good addition to add alongside Stephon Diggs. But as you guys know, Stephon Diggs got traded a couple days later after I made that video. And so I think the Bills got to go out there and get them a receiver. Now, most likely they might have to trade up. Now, in this scenario, I didn't do any trades, but they could trade up for Brian Thomas Jr. if he's gone, because the Cowboys might be looking to take him because CeeDee Lamb is there, and then they release Michael Gallup. So adding another guy on the outside will be great for them. But I think most likely the Cowboys will go offensive tackle. They help to protect the quarterback and get the run game going back again. They helped them a lot with the recent history. But I think Brian Thomas Jr., if he did get past them, he could just fall right in the hands of the Bills. So we will see what happens. But he's a great receiver, tall, big receiver, can play the ball, high pointed as well. He'd be somebody that Josh Allen will fall in love with on the outside, and I think it'll work out well. And plus him being in your system. And they lost Gabe Davis as well, so they might have to go receiver back to back or go receiver first round, maybe third round. You never know what could happen because some teams are very offensive minded, so they could go receiver round 1 and 2. But losing Gabe Davis was a tough hit. But losing Stephon Diggs was a tough hit as well. But this time you had Brian Thomas Jr. I think you can keep him around for a long run because he's a guy who can be your system. If you draft them and build up in your system, those will be your players instead of guys coming from outside systems and come in. And sometimes it'd be hard to keep those guys around. But I think Brian Thomas Jr. going to the Bills would be a great addition. Darius Robinson, I had him go to the Lions, the edge from Missouri. Graham Barton, I had him go to the Ravens. Tyler Guyton, I had him go to the 49ers. And then Adonai, I can't say his name. Adonai Mitchell. Go to from Texas, go to the Chiefs. Of course, the Chiefs have, of course, Marquise Brown now, and Rashee Rice did a good job too. But it wouldn't hurt that another receiver. Sky Moore still haven't evolved into that next level, but we're gonna see what happens. If hopefully he can evolve to the next level, because I know he has that speed, and we see him make plays here and there, but it just like hasn't been like a big transition. And Kadarius Toney, I don't know what's going on with him. He started off good his first year with the Chiefs, and then last year he kind of fell off a cliff. So hopefully he can climb back up. Moving on to the second round. Second round we have Ken Coleman go to the from Florida, go to the Panthers. Xavier Worthy go to the Patriots. I had Sweat go to the Cardinals. I had Kingsley go to the Washington Commanders. Zach Frazier, another center in the draft who's a good dynamic piece, can be a leader on the team, can be the driving force in the run game as well, and pass game too. I feel like he's kind of a sleeper pick. A lot of people not really talk about him a lot because he went with West Virginia. West Virginia is a solid, pretty good college, but it's like not talked about a lot because of the threshold. Some of the bigger schools and bigger names, but he's a guy who has great technique. If you watch him, he's an amazing player. He can be a steal in the draft as well. TJ Tampa, I had him go to the Titans. I had Christian Hayes, another guy too who could probably convert to center eventually, maybe down the line. I think he's one of those guys he's an offensive guard, but he could play center, I think, in the next level. So we'll see what the Panthers do. They do draft him. I had Christian Hayes go to the Panthers. I had Isaac go to the Commanders. Peyton Wilson, the first linebacker taken off the board on my draft right here. Well, first middle linebacker. Everybody else knows edge rushers are kind of like linebackers too. But I had Peyton Wilson taken by the Packers. Amazing player. Sideline guy, can play coverage as well. just like a motor, high motor. You see him like a lot of effort on the field, like a lot of effort. He's never not like just on the standing around and stuff. He plays very smooth and very great awareness as well. So I feel like if he's available, the Packers do need another linebacker in that middle threshold. He could be their next Clay Matthews. You never know. So we'll see what happens. Had Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker for Texas A&M, taken. Had Kamari, cornerback from Georgia, taken by the Falcons. Max Melton. You know him. Max Melton is a good guy too as well. I know some people had him in the first round, like late first round. I feel like he'd be second round type guy, early second round, but he could be first round guy too. Never know. But I had the Raiders take him. I had McConkley, that big old receiver from Georgia. I had the Saints take him. I had Troy Franklin, receiver from Oregon, get taken by the Colts. I had Trey Benson, running back from Florida State, get taken by the Giants. They need to add another running back there after losing Barkley. And the second, third round is a good round to get running backs. Of course, you can wait. Now you already have a solidified guy. Then you can always wait till later round, like fourth, fifth round. But I feel like when you need a guy, when you need to get a guy game changing, and they haven't really gone out there and got anybody. I feel like going out there and getting, Trey Benson would be a good addition to the team. Xavier Legette had him go to the I almost said the Florida Jaguars, the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's a nice player too. But I think about 6'3", very physical receiver. He kind of reminds me of DK Metcalf a little bit, but a little different. DK Metcalf is a big receiver, but he's not really a Mike Evans type of receiver where like going up and get the ball like high point. DK Metcalf uses his size, but in a different way. He has the speed too with it, so he uses size. Because like a lot of guys try to jam him up at the line, he just find a way to get past them. So Legette is a little different, similar but a little different. He like to high point the ball a lot, like to go up there and get it. So he's a guy that the Jaguars could use. They lost Christian Kirk. Not Christian Kirk. They lost Calvin Ridley. You have Christian Kirk still. I think Zay Jones might have left too, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know in the comment section down below. But I think they lost. I lost his name again. Calvin Ridley. They lost Calvin Ridley. So now we're gonna see if they add another guy to the room. Guys, I'm sleepy a little bit. I was up to like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Cause I was doing a live watch party. Me and my cousin did a live watch party on the other channel. We were watching WrestleMania and stuff. We try to do all the wrestling events. So we do like WWE, AEW, some New Japan stuff as well, and TNA sometimes, and Ring of Honor. So I was watching a lot of wrestling this past weekend on my off days, 3 days. Watching a lot of wrestling. I've been up, staying, watching the pay-per-views, and then we're doing reviews and stuff after and stuff, and I'm tired. So if I say some names or say some things, that's probably why. Now moving on to the next, I had Jalen Pope, another receiver who's a deep threat type of guy. Very good route runner. You watch him, just like the way he set things up. I know people say, well, he's not the fastest because he's only running 4.5, but 4.5 is fast to me. And you watch him, the way he can get open and create separation with his route running ability. Hey, that's all you need to do in the NFL. If you're a receiver, all you need to be able to do is get open. I don't care if you run a 4.7, 4.8. If you can get open, you can run a nice route and get open, hey, they're going to love you. I'm moving on to the Eagles pick. I took Ricky Parasol from Florida. Very shifty receiver. Can work in the slot, work outside as well. Kind of reminds me of Jarvis Landry a little bit, Hunter Renfrow a little bit. A very gritty, tough receiver. And then I had Malachi Corley taken by the Steelers. Another guy who I love a lot. Amazing route runner. He reminds me of AJ Brown, Antonio Brown-esque. Let's say getting drunk off the yak. Yards at the catch. He get the ball in his hand and go crazy. Put his foot in the ground, spin moves, his agility, and his quickness and shiftiness, the way he can just get the ball and turn a 5-yard play to a 50-yard play. That'd be a game-changing piece for the Steelers. I had Rook taken by the Rams. Junior Colson, linebacker, from Michigan. Solid player too. I feel like if he can get a little bigger, he can be even better too as well, but he has great awareness. And really, if he's a little smaller, he could play safety because the way his play style is. He has great patience. He knows how to hit the hole right and find the different gaps and just like attack the gaps. Be like, oh, go to C gap, the B gaps. And he find different spots and he's just patient. Some linebackers are more like aggressive. They're just running in there, and sometimes they work out, but sometimes they might run in the wrong way and can cause their team yardage. He's a guy who's patient, and he waits and pick his poison. But sometimes I feel like he can get a little, not be as aggressive when he making the hit. I feel like he get that little more killer instinct, a little edge to him. He can come in there and lay some people out, be a little more of a thumper as well. As a guy who can cover as well, I think it'd be a nice duo type of linebacker. Leonard Taylor, I had him taken by the Browns. Cooper, I had him taken by the Dolphins. Jonathan Brooks, running back from Texas, I had him taken by the Cowboys. Ennis, cornerback from Missouri, had him taken by the Bucks. Patrick Paul, the offensive tackle from Houston, had him taken by the Packers. Michael Hall Jr. had him taken by the Texans. Tyler Nubin, safety, had him taken by the Bills. Kalen Carson, cornerback from Wake Forest, taken by the Lions. Roman Wilson, the big playmaker. He make a lot of big plays for Michigan. Throwing the ball up and stuff. Like, I had the Ravens take him. A guy who can help them. Of course, they have Xavier. I said Xavier. His name might be Xavier, but I think it's Zay Flowers. They call him Zay Flowers. And Mark Andrews there, but adding a guy like that on the other side, a guy who can just, hey, maybe Lamar Jackson occasionally have to throw a jump ball up or just take a chance down the field. A guy like this would be great to add. And then I had Chris Braswell, edge from Alabama, taken by the 49ers, and I had Jordan Morgan, offensive tackle, taken by from Arizona, taken by the Chiefs, to add a little more on that offensive line, offensive tackle spot. But this is my draft for first round and second round as well. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the draft. Leave your grades, leave all your thoughts and everything. But I'll see you guys most likely tomorrow as well. I'll be more rested as well. But I'll see you guys tomorrow night when I upload. Get back to the regular schedule because I'll be available to upload at night. So yeah, see ya. I see ya. Peace out.